ValveTime.net.
Hi, and welcome to the ValveTime News. Each week we'll bring you the biggest talking points regarding Valve software and the community. Now, the news. In a surprise announcement earlier this week, Valve officially unveiled the International 3, the world's largest Dota 2 tournament, which pits the top 16 teams from around the globe against one another in order to win a grand prize of $1 million. The event will run from August the 7th until August the 11th and will be held at the Benaroya Hall in Seattle, Washington, which was also used as the venue for last year's International 2. Chinese team Invictus Gaming were the first to be revealed, given their status as the 2012 International 2 champions, and were quickly joined by LGD Gaming, Orange Esports, Alliance, Fnatic, and Team Liquid. But ValveTime, you cry. That only makes a total of 6 teams. What of the other 10? Well, dear viewer, Valve are continuing to update the announcement page with more information as time goes on, so we're confident that the roster of teams will be updated very soon. 13 of the 16 teams will be invited into the tournament directly by Valve, while the other 3 will be determined using a pair of qualifier tournaments. Qualifying rounds will be split into Eastern and Western tournaments, both of which will be held in May 2013. The winning team from each of these qualifiers will take part in the main international tournament as the 14th and 15th teams respectively. Runner-up teams from both qualifiers will face off against each other for the 16th and final wildcard spot in the main tournament. A matchup which will take place on August 6, 2013, one night before the International 3 is due to begin. To stay up to date with the latest developments, including the International 3, head on over to ValveTime for our full write-up and check out the official announcement page on the Dota 2 blog. While this week's Dota 2 patch was particularly light on content in comparison to previous weeks, it still introduced a variety of gameplay fixes alongside the introduction of new cosmetic couriers and item sets for Husker, Meepo, and Slardar. Brand new couriers, such as the Llama Llama and Kupu, the Metamorpher, were both added alongside Nimble Ben and Porcine Princess Penelope, both of whom were unreleased until now, despite Valve adding their models to the game files a good few months back. Unreleased heroes Elder Titan and Legion Commander both received substantial updates to their textures, particle effects, icons, and models, which further promotes the idea that one or both of these heroes will be included into the main game sometime very soon. If you're looking to learn more, check out Cyborg Matt's blog for his changelog analysis, or head on over to the Dota 2 blog to read the officially released changelog. It was a big week for Counter-Strike Global Offensive as Valve released a major update which introduced the first in a series of community map passes. The new pass, aptly named Operation Payback, allows players to purchase a $2.99 ticket which provides a one-of-the-kind supporter challenge coin which upgrades based on map playtime and access to 7 of the community's highest quality maps, including Museum, Downtown, Thunder, Favela, Motel, Seaside, and Library. The scheme, which functions similarly to Team Fortress 2's map stamp system, rewards community map creators with direct monetary payment from every pass sold, which players can purchase from the CSGO main menu. While all of these maps are of course still available on community servers as before, the pass allows CSGO players to voluntarily support their favorite map makers while having a direct and easy method of accessing the best community maps on strong servers. The pass is currently listed as 50% off for a limited time only, and Operation Payback is due to come to a close on July the 31st, 2013, so better to get your hands on one sooner rather than later. In a post on the official Counter-Strike blog, Valve also promised that Payback is just the beginning. Future operations will highlight all new collections of popular maps, so stay tuned, and we'll be sure to let you know if and when more map packs are posted. Links to the Operation Payback page and the official post on the Counter-Strike blog will be provided in the video description. Elsewhere in the Valvosphere, the Left 4 Dead 2 ongoing content team announced that the game's closed beta client will become open and available to the entire community next week. The closed beta client, which was introduced back in February of this year, includes a variety of major updates to the game, including the Extended Mutation System, a scripting tool which allows modders to create custom game modes with greater complexity and depth than anything currently possible within the existing version of the Source SDK. The test client will also serve as a test build of the Linux version of Left 4 Dead 2, which remains in ongoing development after it was first shown back in late 2012 as one of Valve's first steps into Linux gaming. The announcement post on the Left 4 Dead blog doesn't provide an exact date for when the client will be released, so be sure to keep an eye out for an official announcement sometime next week. As usual, we'll be sure to keep you posted. It was a big week for Steam as Valve introduced a beta update which allows users to limit Steam's bandwidth usage. In the past, Steam has regularly attempted to consume as much bandwidth as was available, even if it meant that other online applications suffered, which particularly affected those gamers out there with lower bandwidth connections. To access this new feature, you'll have to opt into the Steam beta, which you can do by changing your beta status in the Accounts tab of your Steam settings. The current bandwidth limiter settings allowed for speeds from anywhere between 128 kilobytes per second and 250 megabits per second. Over on the store side of things, Valve announced the arrival of subscription plans, a feature that allows developers to offer regular payment services from within the Steam store itself. Up until now, subscription-based titles such as EVE Online have required players to create separate external accounts in order to bill players on a monthly or annual basis. The new service will allow players to purchase and subscribe to new subscription-based games in a single transaction using their existing Steam accounts. The first title to make use of this feature is Darkfall: Unholy Wars, a fantasy MMO which was successfully greenlit in November of last year. Let's continue to talk about major Steam updates for this week's discussion. The next generation of video game consoles are on the horizon, and so far the upcoming Sony PlayStation 4 has impressed gamers with a variety of new features. So which of these two hypothetical improvements would you like to see added to Steam? Would you prefer to have access to a built-in live streaming application for games, or would you prefer the ability to download games and updates automatically while playing, or by putting your computer into a standby mode? Let us know which idea you prefer and why in the comments below. That brings us to the end of another week of Valve news. Stay tuned for the return of ValveTime Talk Time sometime this week, and yes, we mean it this time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.